less sugar. So you expect a bigger bitterness than sweetener, right? Okay?
Yeah.
This is a bit on Project 8, and since this is not on the agenda, perhaps it may tell you a bit on the requirement or the objective of the speech. Getting comfortable with visual aid. And basically the speaker is expected to use appropriate visual aid to deliver his or her speech, and to use it confidently and with ease. And of course the speaker is also expected to use all the skills she has learned in the previous projects, namely the vocal variety, the body language, the organization, so on and so forth. All right, here we go. Now this is speech on the eyes. And obviously the use of the visual aid would be very useful to demonstrate, illustrate her point. And I believe that what Grace wanted to tell us is about all these very, could be alarming statistics. If we do not take good care of our eyes, we could run into lots of problems, particularly with age. So this is what I would believe Grace would like to tell us, right? On the use of the visual aids, you use something like a kind of A4 size, and I must say that Grace appear more to be your visual cue card than the visual aid for us. You know what I mean? Because they, like Chuan Hui mentioned, that if those visual aids are really for us, we would expect a much bigger size. And I believe in a room like this, it would be much better to use a PowerPoint to show those transparencies. And I'm sure they'll be more professional, particularly the whole tone of the speech is something very professional, I believe. So you may like to consider using a much bigger kind of slide showing all those important information. So there are lots of information and figures and so on and so forth. Particularly we also involve some sort of medical jargon, those terms. So this is my opinion on a topic like this. Overall, of course, I like the way you start off your speech by sharing with a little story about a person kind of trading his eyes for something else. I think this part is very kind of attention-getting. This is a good part. The vocal part, I'm going to speak louder, because this is a very good room for us to practice our voice. So I'd like to speak a bit louder. When you really want to use our visual aid, it's like it's very, very small, you really have to hold it in a decent way so that you can really show to people if this is all you have. So that's something you would like to consider. Now, do I like the speech? I do like the speech because there's some good part and bad part for me, right? The bad news is that I'm coming to the age I need to worry about my eyes. And the good part is that I'm a guy, so perhaps my problem on me is less than compared with a woman. So that's the good part. Overall, a good speech, a good attempt, because I noticed that this is very much on a last minute chip in. You not plan to do it, I believe. It's until the last minute you decide to do it. So I really would believe that would be to your benefit. You would like to try it again. Just show it with some proper PowerPoint. I'm sure that it would give a real impact, and we're going to benefit more from that very useful information. With that, I hand it back to you.
Thank you.